See, I'm just going to hold on to the phone until I figure out a suitable head unit. Because, yeah, that last video, I'm not happy with how that turned out. But anyway, hit up the scrapyard and picked up some steel to do these floors. And I got 1/8 of an inch. So it's all complicated. It's not like this now, but it's all here. I even got a couple extra pieces in case I need them. And you can get yourself a 10-piece kit, you know, and play around and put it back to factory. Or you can just go bigger. So here's that little thingy here in the passenger side. I'm just figuring stuff out right now. But yeah, this is pretty much what I got going on. Down there, over here, all that. It ain't gonna sit on top, of course. I gotta make a frame. This piece right here is gonna go like right there. And then I got this angle piece right here. This one is going to go right here. And what goes on there is that'll fit this weather stripping. That'll fit this weather stripping in here. Alright. And that'll go that way. Against the back there and right against the door. And I'll leave some gaps in there. That way water should be able to run right on out and out. But yeah, that weather stripping will press, if I have it the right way, that weather stripping will press right against the door here. It should make a nice seal. Let's get some new weather stripping in there. Alright, I'm trying to figure out this frame though. This frame is complicated. I gotta make a frame for the floor because I don't have any anymore. It's all gone. So in the back, I'm alright. I'm alright with those cab mounts. And front here, look at all that. They put grease up in there. The front's gone. So I don't want to move this gas tank. I might move it later, but it's good. It's a good gas tank. Don't look too horrible on the bottom. That's no gas. I sprayed the hell out of this thing with this PB blaster. I used like half that dang 1 gallon container already. Getting everything soaking because the bed's got to come out. But short version, super short version, is I'm gonna go up there with this. I don't know. I think it's 2.5, and go right on the side of this gas tank here. So I should still be. I shouldn't have a problem dropping the gas tank, and it should fit right in there. I gotta cut this rocker completely off and play around with that. Right now, I need to at least pull this bed back. And I mean, rust is a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. These things pull right through. I got like 3 bolts on this on. And yeah, so 1, 2, over there's 3 somewhere. I think I'm missing another one. So anyway, 3 or 4 bolts holding this thing on. Those are soaking right now. And I'm gonna pull this thing back. Yeah, at least 10 inches. I don't want to hit the tire, but that'll get me up in here, and I'll drop that tank. I just wanted to make sure I could get in there. That's just me figuring it out. End of the day, it should be about 1/8 of an inch thick, and I think they're gonna look nice. If your steel place, like my steel place is like 40 miles away, but they cut the stuff, and they cut it pretty dang good, they accurately, and it just, man, if you can get your stuff cut for like $1 a piece, it saves so much work versus grinding it yourself. But yeah, I got a couple filler pieces also for the backs here. You know, fit in the back. I don't know what I'm doing completely, but a couple filler pieces, and yeah, a lot of extra pieces. I got all this extra angle. Just in case I decide to change direction, instead of going with this, I might go with angle. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I was going to go to the frame. I realized there's a gas tank there. So that's what these plates are for. I was going to drill some holes and go right to the frame. Just have it mount right to the frame, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make some rock sliders later with those. There's always reason to use some steel. But I got to get this bed off. Probably I'll drop that gas tank, cut this rocker off, and then I got to play around getting the floor jacked up so that these doors, I mean, they close. The weather stripping's out right now. That's why I closed too far. But they close right about there. Right about there. But I got a couple gaps. It is a winter beater truck. I'm not that concerned. I'm more concerned about just getting the snow out. But yeah. So like that right there, I think that's 9 inches. That'll cover this. Behind these pedals, I didn't want to play around with these until I got stuff figured out. But that's where I'm at. I gotta cut more of my carpet out. Part of me doesn't want to take out the seat when I'm doing all this welding, because the seat's probably a structural member at this point. So I'm gonna try to just cover this up. I got a welding blanket, cover this up the best I can and try not catching this thing on fire. Ain't gonna do too much damage if it does get a little bit, but no weld would spatter on it, but whatever. I'll cover up my dash too. My dash looks pretty-ish for what it is. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Enough talking, enough screwing around. I absolutely don't know if I'm keeping this bed. The supports in the back are gone. They didn't even have these bolts in. I don't know if it kind of looks like they already pulled the bed. The bolts feel loose-ish, or one of them's like it come out. Where is it? That one was ready to come out. This one, I can't even touch it. This thing is pretty high. The truck's pretty high. I can't even know about that. But yeah, never mind where the stripping I pulled out. But yeah, so it's gonna be a rocker delete. When I'm done, it's going to look. Oh man, walk around this way. Sorry to make you all dizzy. I gotta put a new door skin on this. I knew that was gonna happen. But when it's done, I should have my square under here. Alright? Square should be under here. And if I do it right, it shouldn't stick out too far. It might stick out like an inch. But it'll still be covered by the door all day long. And that'll be, try it this way. That'll be like right there. And it'll be a rocker delete. So, you know, at the bottom of the door is going to be exposed. And somebody's going to freak out and say, oh no, the bottom of the door is exposed. But the bottom of the door sits here. And it's pretty much sitting in, let me show you with an actual rocker. The bottom of the door is sitting in a puddle of water 90% of the time. Because all that water's got to go somewhere. And here you go. See how the rest of this thing is? All this water's got to go somewhere. And you think it would just off. I mean, that's the theory, right? It's going to come off. That ain't what happens. It just pools here, and that pools against the bottom of the door, and it just sits. Especially if the truck sits, it's gonna sit. I mean, if I cared about a rocker, I'd probably drill a couple holes in this to let that water drain out, because otherwise the water's going to pool. Open up the door on your square body. After it rains, you'll probably see some water sitting here. And that just pools right against the bottom of the door. And yeah, these doors are shot. But pools against the bottom of the door. And yeah, so makes a nice little thing. And I don't know, maybe I'll fix these. Maybe I'll put some angle right here. And I do the door skins. But these doors are good-ish. I mean, they're good enough. The latches work. How about that? You know, I say that and I'm looking at that. But yeah, so I gotta play around, but that's where I'm at with this little update, and hopefully a little closer to a rocker delete and me tearing a buttload of stuff apart, including these fenders, which I'm getting some new ones here tomorrow. That one's actually not horrible for a Michigan fender. It's not horrible, but whatever. I know what I want to do. And it requires these fenders coming completely off. It helps this doesn't have, I can see that flopping in the wind. And I think it's got some chicken wire holding on the bottom. So, yeah, fender's completely coming off. And I'm playing around with that. I also got to relocate the battery to do what I want to do. Right now, we're playing with floors. That's where I'm at. There's your update. Closer to rocker delete.